there, this is Teacher Monica from On English Training, happy to help. A very warm welcome to our first video of the year. We're going to show you 25 negative adjectives to describe personality. All these adjectives come with an example, right? This example is going to help you give meaning, to remember meaning better. If you remember the list of words, you may easily forget very quickly, but if you remember an example where words make sense, this will stay with you for longer, believe me, okay? These 25 examples can be found in the downloadable PDF you will find in the description, together with a link to subscribe and get a fantastic quality free video every week. This week is the 25 negative adjectives to describe personality, but next week we're going to the positive one. But we're going to start with the negative first, because they are more fun. Okay, are you ready? Look at the first one, resentful. If you're a resentful person, you keep negative feelings inside yourself. Maybe due to negative or difficult experiences in your life, you keep resentful. You feel hurt for a long time about something that maybe happened many years ago, but still there. Right? For example, he still feels resentful about his divorce. Okay? Look at the second, touchy. A touchy person is somebody who's easily offended, and you have to be careful what you say and what you do, because these people may get crossed. Okay? So, my boss is very touchy, so you have to watch what you say, or she may get really upset. Okay? So, touchy, oversensitive, we could say. Look at number 3, dogmatic. My dad was a strict dogmatic person who disliked frivolity. A dogmatic person follows dogma. Dogma is the rule, what is supposed to be okay, right? So if you're dogmatic, you like things as they are due, okay? So look at number 4, fussy. If you're fussy, you like things to be done in a particular way, right? You're very delicate, pricky, and oversensitive about things. For example, my mom was very fussy about how housework had to be done. Okay, you have to make the bed in this way, and you have to put the things in this way after dusting. She was very fussy, right? Some people are very fussy about food, and they don't like many things, or they like things cooked in a particular way and not otherwise. Okay, this is being fussy. So, number 5, materialistic. People say that kids tend to be very materialistic nowadays and only want to buy stuff. So you focus on what is material. You don't care about emotions or feelings. Cynical. This is a false friend with Spanish, so we should watch out, right? Peter is very cynical, and he doesn't even trust people in charities. When you're cynical in English, you don't trust, you don't believe, you think everything is fake. You know, everybody's pretending, nobody's being honest, so you don't believe in many things or practically in anything or anybody, right? This is being cynical, like disenchanted in English, right? Number 7, big-headed. This is not about the size, okay? So, John is very attractive, but he's also very big-headed and can be a little arrogant. When you're a big-headed person, you think the world about yourself. You think you're better. Your ego is very big, okay? So, this is what big-headed is about. Number 8, obstinate. This is like stubborn. You know, my sister can be really obstinate when she has a goal to achieve. This could be negative or neutral. You can be obstinate in the way that you don't want to change your ways, or you can be obstinate like determined. You know, you have a goal and you go for it, whatever it takes, right? Number 9, narrow-minded. My grandfather was very narrow-minded when it came to gay marriage, so he was not very open-minded, he was not very tolerant, he was very conservative and restricted, right? So, number 10 is stingy. A stingy person is incredibly mean, is a tight-fisted person, right? Carl is so stingy, he never puts money into the kitty or pays for anything. The kitty is this kind of common man you have together when you share expenses in a group or in a house, okay? So, number 11 is tactless. Be Neil is very tactless and tends to offend people when he talks. When you're tactless, you have no tact. You don't care about how the other people feel when you say something, right? So you just let things go. No matter who's around, you don't care if they may get offended. You're tactless, right? Number 12, obnoxious, right? Obnoxious is a very interesting word in English. It means a very incredibly unpleasant person, okay? Kind of disgusting. So John is always saying very unpleasant things. He's really obnoxious, right? So he's a very horrible person to be with, right? You tend to get offended by the things he or she says, right? Obnoxious. Number 13, indecisive. You know, these people who never know what they have to do, right? So I can be very indecisive about what to eat in all-you-can-eat restaurants. Yeah, when you go to these places, you have all sorts of food, and you go like, oh, I want to have this, I want to have that, but I can't have that, I shouldn't have that, blah, 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 blah. So you can get a little indecisive, right? So number 14 is patronizing. Patronizing is always connected with a feeling of superiority. Okay, so Peter talks to deaf people in a patronizing way as if they didn't understand. You know, it's like, okay, you're not supposed to hear me. I'm going to talk to you as if you were an idiot. Okay, so you have this kind of patronizing attitude, like thinking that maybe the other people are not as good as you, just because maybe they have any kind of, you know, illness, disorder, disability, and you have this patronizing attitude, right? Sometimes patronizing is also connected with overprotective, right? So patronizing is an adjective that sometimes is given to bosses, right? When bosses are very patronizing, they try to control a lot of aspects of people's lives, you know, not only work-wise, but also maybe family-wise, okay? So that's an interesting adjective. Number 15 is vain. When you always want to look nice and perfect, you tend to be vain. Unlike Mary, you're always looking at every mirror you find. You know, you're always looking at yourself in every mirror because you want to make sure that everything is in the right place. So, next one. Aloof. Number 16 is aloof. Aloof is a person who's lonely, who doesn't like socializing very much, who's kind of detached. Okay, so all the kids played well together, but Sam was a bit aloof and stood in the corner alone, right? So, number 17 is callous. Callous is similar to cruel, but is a very negative adjective. For example, the serial killer was certainly a very callous person, right? So very insensitive, very cruel. So, gullible. Gullible is a person who believes everything you say, right? So he believes everything you tell him. He's incredibly gullible. You see, like, oh, look at that cloud flying over there. And you go like, oh, really? Where? So, cows don't fly, right? Well, they say, right? But some people may believe it because they're very gullible. So, number 19 is one of my favorite words, cantankerous. Cantankerous is a person who's always angry with everybody and complains about everything, right? So, the cantankerous old man told the kids off because they were noisy, right? People who are always angry with the world, cantankerous. Number 22 is detached. Robert didn't react at all to the bad news. He was totally detached. A person who's detached doesn't show feelings or emotions. He's cold, distant, flat, doesn't care about the others. There's been 20 people killed in an accident. Oh, really? Too bad. That would be a reaction from a detached person. Okay? So, number 21, possessive. Right? Possessive can be connected with jealous, somebody who likes keeping things and people for themselves. Okay? So Michael's girlfriend is very possessive and doesn't let him hang out with guys. Too bad. Number 22, self-centered. Right? This is very similar to egoist. right? To selfish. You think you're the center of the universe, you're the most important person, and you don't care for the others, right? He doesn't really worry about the others since he's so self-centered, okay? It's me, myself, and I. The three most important people in the world, self-centered, right? So, number 22 is clingy. Clingy is somebody who feels insecure, not very confident about a situation, and they become very dependable. For example, she always gets clingy before flying because she doesn't like it at all. So imagine this girl becomes very dependable, becomes very insecure, nervous, asking questions all the time, looking for people's help because she feels afraid of flying, right? So she becomes clingy. Remember, clinging is like hanging. When you're clingy, you hang, you depend on the others, okay? So this is a very special adjective, has lots of different shades, lots of different colors, depending on the context, right? So, number 24 is belligerent. Belligerent is a person who's tends to be aggressive, has an aggressive reaction in some situations, right? So Sam often becomes belligerent when he drinks too much. So he becomes aggressive and quick-tempered, right? And finally, number 25 is impulsive. She depends too much on money. Oh, sorry, she spends too much money because she's very impulsive and buys everything she likes, right? Impulsive is very similar to Spanish, so it means you act on impulse. You don't think before doing things, right? So, okay, here we have the 25 adjectives of today, 25 negative adjectives that you can download in the PDF attached below. Remember to subscribe. Enjoy one good quality video every week, absolutely free. And remember, enjoy, learn, and share. Don't be selfish. That's a negative adjective. Okay? See you next week with 25 positive adjectives. Have a lovely week. Thank you for watching.